Today we're going to be talking about ancient Persia. So let's start with geography. The Persian Empire was one of the largest empires in the world. One time it was larger than the Greeks and Romans. Ancient Persia covered up Egypt, Turkey, Afghanistan, and Pakistan. So this was ancient Persia. Ancient Persia. It was so big. It also conquered some parts of Greece. Persia was able to link in the lands of Africa, Asia, and Europe. Persia was a small state lived at the edge of Media Empire. So this was Media Empire and it lived at the edge. Persia was ruled by Cyrus, Cyrus' grandfather. Persia paid taxes to Media for like protection from invaders. Like Switzerland pays money to France from attacks. In 550 BC, Cyrus came in a conflict with his grandfather and overthrew his grandfather, and then he rebelled and took the power away from Astyages, Cyrus' grandfather. Cyrus was the great grandson of the first Persia king, Achaemenid. So you might be wondering, it's called Achaemenid Empire. Well, he named Achaemenid Empire because it's great grandfather's name, and you can call it Achaemenid Empire or Persia. There's two names to it. So he was now the king of the Persian Empire. Cyrus conquers Media, Asia Minor, and all the way to Indus Valley to Pakistan and India. So Cyrus led Persia in a war against Media, and then after 3 years of fighting, Cyrus conquers Media. He also wanted to conquer Asia Minor, aka Turkey, because Asia Minor was so rich with gold. That's why he wanted to conquer it. Conquered Asia Minor and got all the gold, so he became the richest. Then Cyrus moved to the Indus Valley, border of Pakistan and India. So he conquered till Pakistan. In 539 BC, Cyrus conquers Babylon and Canaan. So after Nebuchadnezzar, the ruler of Babylon in Mesopotamia, Cyrus had a chance to conquer Babylon because when Nebuchadnezzar died, his descendants were weak. So in 539 BC, Cyrus captured Babylon. All of Mesopotamia was under Persia. So you can see, so he conquered all of Mesopotamia. He also took over Canaan. Also called as Palestine, because Canaan was in the edge right here. So Cyrus is a really kind king. Unlike Babylonians and Assyrians, he let the Jews in Palestine go back to their home, because Babylonians and Assyrians threw the Jews out, but because he felt sorry for the Jews, he let them go back to their homes. And he also let them worship their own gods and speak their own languages. Cyrus was tolerant for others' cultures and religion. He let them speak their own language and have their own culture. He allowed the local leaders still have their religions and languages, but they still have to pay taxes and treat him like a king. He did that so the people will not rebel and have their own land. Since Cyrus was fair, the local leaders did not rebel against him. So everybody liked him, and he allowed them to have their religions and languages. In 525 BC, Cyrus' son Cambyses conquers Egypt. Cyrus really wanted to conquer Egypt, but because he died, his son wanted to conquer Egypt for his father. Conquered Egypt, but he did not return to Persia because he died in Egypt. And after he died, his most trusted governor, Darius, was now the king of Persia. So in 522 BC to 486 BC. Darius, the one, is the king of Persia, and he took the title King of Kings. So nobody really liked him at first, but then they started to like because he conquered such a huge amount of land. He couldn't take control of all of them, so he split them in parts and made 2 leaders for each city. If he had one, that one will rebel against him. But there will be more chances they won't rebel if there is 2. So they did the same thing like Rome. When Rome said they don't want kings, they made just 2 leaders in charge of the whole empire. But Darius made them only do it for cities. But he still wanted to be king of it. And also he was the first one to introduce the currency gold coin. So instead of trading with animal skin and all those stuff, now they could just buy things with gold coins. He also built a road from Turkey to Kuwait, and that was called the Royal Road. But then it was from Kuwait to China. So instead of the Royal Road, it was called the Silk Road. So he built the canal to Red Sea till Nile Delta. So and he called it the Darius Canal. The Darius Canal. 490 BC, it was the Battle of Marathon. So Darius thought that the Greeks will attack Persia and they will become really powerful. So then he fought a war against Greeks called the Battle of Marathon. Spartans did not join because they had this festival, but the Athens said Spartans please join, but they did not. But Darius had a lot of people, but he still lost. Lost the Battle of Marathon, and then in 480 to 479 BC, Xerxes, Darius' son, invades Greeks. Athens and Spartans were there, but he was still able to invade Greece. The Greek was under Persia for a couple of years. So that was the Battle of Marathon, but this was the Battle of Thermopylae, and it had some success. But at the Battle of Salamis, the Persians defeated by Greeks because the Greeks rebelled. So Xerxes failed to defeat the Greeks and showed the world that Persia could be defeated. And then in 334 BC, so none other than Alexander the Great conquers Persia, and just like Cyrus, who is a tolerant man, Alexander copies him so nobody could rebel and becomes a tolerant man. And then Alexander died. There was 3 generals. So Ptolemy got Egypt, and Seleucus got Mesopotamia and Persia. So Romans conquered Greek Empire, and the Romans ruled Persia. And this is all about ancient Persia.